Yeah, right. Last
There,
chance.
there we
It's
are.
setting up the meeting.
There we are.
Live.
Let it give pop up for him. Oh, I have to agree.
Oh no, I don't. Right. I don't want that. All right. So the funny thing is it automatically it automatically opens up YouTube. So this is new. Hi everybody. We're back. We're streaming, and it's episode 4 of the Azimuth Busters and Friends, bringing you Emerald City Knights, the Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition campaign, and we are doing a little different in the tech today. So we're trying things different, which is why it probably looks a little different than it has in the past. But fear not. The meat and potatoes, as they say, remains a hearty meal. It is episode 4, and we're calling it Aftermath. And you know how I always loved how we're going back to probably Silver Age comics, I believe. In Silver Age comics, they always did this double title thing. Right. And yeah. Cartoons made fun of that a little bit later. So there was like the official title, there was like, Rabid Rampage, or it would have, Band on the Run or something crazy. And they always had like these weird, crazy subtitles behind it. So I always loved that. So today is Aftermath. Scene 5, everybody's talking.
They always did that whole like character names in, right? The
banded
burglar in
secrets
of the mines, the Wonder Zone.
So we open our scene back in the relatively not completely but partially destroyed office of Maximilian Mars. Just before the entire group arrived, it was the luchador Jose who had found a way up to the staircase so he could get down into that office. He wanted to have a quick conversation with Mars as well as fix the damage done to the desk.
Ostensibly, yeah.
So the scene opens with Jose. You're moving his desk. Mars is still in his office. He is sat back down in the chair that sits behind that massive desk structure, which is no longer there because, as you know, you're picking it up and moving it across and setting it basically in front of him.
Probably line it up with the holes in the floor. Sorry about that. You'll have to get one of your people to refix your fiber connections there. Sorry, sir.
Yes. We have staff for that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Well, seem to have some powerful enemies.
Well, that goes with the territory, doesn't it?
I suppose, but if I were you, having enemies like that, I might want some more people like me and my friends around more often.
Is that what you really wanted to talk to me about, Jose? My enemies.
It is.
How powerful they are.
Yes, actually. That's exactly what it was. Because that way you could have a friend like me who might be of help. And I'm got to admit, I'm in a bit of a jam, and it seems to me a man of your contacts and scientific talent might be of help to me. You probably noticed my face.
Well, I mean, you have worn a mask for the duration that we have been exposed to each other.
I assumed that you were a informed enough man to know that there's a reason for that. I don't normally do that. It's kind of embarrassing.
Well, sensationalism, media darling.
I'll undo the strap and kind of look, and yeah.
He goes, ooh.
Yeah. So it was a problem with an infection and a drug that went wrong, and maybe you have somebody who could fix that.
As you set down the desk, Jose, you can see through the gaping hole in the side of Mars's office window, where it was basically blown out in the combat. And you see that your group is gathering, and that Velocity is likely to be teleporting the group in any moment.
So if you could help fix my face and maybe sort out my business with ice, that well, I would be very grateful.
Well, as you said, Jose, I believe we are to be friends. The rest remains to be seen. There are much larger fish to be fried, certainly, but you and I should readdress this at a later time. When he says that, the rest of the group, Velocity, Daydream, Crowfeather, and Darkweave, they all teleport in. There is basically rubble. There's not much in the line of furniture. You can kind of pick up an ottoman piece or part of a couch and kind of set it up. Certainly, you're likely to just be like making what you need.
I'll sit down on the chair that was there.
I'll straighten the broken vase, kind of, yeah. Falls over, things falling out. Might need to get some crazy glue for that.
Maximilian Mars has come out of that fight without a scratch. He never seemed to lift a finger.
Well, he did all
to either help or aid one side or the other.
He did all his planning beforehand. His planning was to have us there.
Yeah, that was not lost on me, believe me.
He says, well, you may have a bit of trouble finding an intact chair. The conversation pit, he comes from behind the desk as well, because he has no need to be behind the presence of this big desk. And he walks down to the front part of the office, which is more of a conversation pit where you can kind of sit around that area. Again, there's quite a bit of rubble strewn about. He says, please, try to make yourselves as comfortable as possible. The staff will get right on it. And when he says that, you hear 2 or 3 open click channels within the room going, yes, sir, right on it. Yes, sir, maintenance on it.
I'll pop up some chairs for us.
Okay.
So that we're not they're just like, yeah, they weren't there. You turn to see if there's a chair or something to sit on, and there it is.
He smiles.
Must have been there the whole time.
He smiles and he gives me a little fatherly wink, not a sexy wink, more like oh, aren't you adorable? He gives you one of those.
Part. Wouldn't want everyone sitting on the ground.
I think we need some explaining, Mr. Mars.
Well, certainly, certainly, I will help try to clarify what I can. But first, beforehand, it must be said that formally thanks to each and every one of you for your acts in dispersing members of the FOE.
FOE?
Yeah, yes, the Fellowship of Evil. They were all members of the FOE.
And they seem to know you very well.
They have great
on a personal
naming
level.
schemes.
Know me.
Fellowship of Evil? That kind of removes all doubt kind of at one fell swoop, doesn't it?
They know me in the same sense that you have all known me. I believe I have only been in the presence of that Canon something. The one who is in charge. Yeah, Canon. He's the only one that I've actually been in the presence of in the past. There was a time when he was on the fence about which way he was going to go.
He's mad because you didn't hire him.
I beg your pardon?
He's mad because you didn't hire him.
Well, I didn't really have a place in any of my businesses for a wild card loose cannon, pun intended. He's a hothead. He scores high on the power level, but low on the IQ scale. Not the kind of man we want at any of the Mars Tech's businesses.
Oh, I'll kind of look a little worried about that.
I'd like to understand why you chose to start doing emails amid the fight and disregard the entire thing that was occurring.
What makes you think I disregard anything? Oh, because I didn't help in the fight. That's your logic path that leads you to some kind of degradation on my part. Is that what I'm to understand?
Seems logical to me. Yeah.
Should you have had some responsibility to defend yourself against people that came?
Well, not that I must, but I will tell you that I didn't completely check out, as you were saying. I got in touch with the military, and I got in touch with my private security force, as well as some other folks. Perhaps you've heard of Freedom Force.
He also had a force field. That was cool.
Have we heard of Freedom Force?
Legacy City.
They're the big boys. Right.
Freedom League. I'm sorry, not Freedom Force. Freedom League. And yes, they are a multi-city government-sanctioned supergroup. They're not based here. Emerald City does not have a
franchise.
There's no local lodge here.
Yeah. Okay.
So
does that mean they're coming here? Are you gonna get to meet them? That'd be so cool.
Well, I suppose that depends on the severity on which they weighed my communication. I simply shared with them the facts. I neither asked, insisted, nor encouraged them to do any of those things. That is not how I operate.
So
I do want to thank you for minimizing the damage to the Mars Tech's campus. Had you not been here, I am most certain that it would have been 10 or maybe even 100 times the amount of damage they were able to do. I am quite proud of.
Did anybody actually get hurt? I don't think so.
Any of you guys?
Any of the civilians?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
some of them.
Yeah. Remember, Gargantuan was like focused on hurting people.
Yeah.
He was picking people up and throwing them.
He only got a few, but
There were no casualties. No one died.
A few is few too many.
Yeah, no one died, but certainly at one point when he lost his cool, he started targeting,
which was immediately.
He started targeting staff members. You know, he was picking people up and throwing them into buildings and tossing people over trees and through trees, and people got fucked up, but nobody died.
I mean, we did have a lot of fun making fun of him and calling him Super Larry. So you know that might have something to do with it.
So So he says, he says, I'm sure, like yourselves, the leadership of the FOE likely sent those chuckleheads to find out what involvement I had in the whole Silver Storm matter.
Did you have an involvement, sir?
I'd like to try and what skill is that? Perception? Is that, or would it be deception? The one to
insight.
Insight.
The insight skill.
Trying to see what he's thinking.
Lying.
Yeah.
No, I rolled 12 plus 5. Probably not high enough.
He says it goes without saying that many would deduce that I would be the prime suspect for masterminding such a thing as the Silver Storm. But if you knew me, my friends, you would know that my style is a bit more sophisticated and far more subtle than a bomb in the middle of town. I mean, please.
So who do you think did it?
I don't know, which is why I have reached out to other professionals to see if perhaps they could help us sniff out a trail. In the meantime, I am looking to bolster our defenses here in Emerald City. I believe there is a gap overlooked. If there were business, if this were sheerly a matter of business, I would have capitalized on this before and would have already been turning a profit on the matter. But this is something a little more sensitive. It is the soul of Emerald City. It is the way the world perceives us as a place where there is no place for supers. And I'm afraid, my friends, the Silver Storm has changed all of that for all of us. I don't know, and I don't expect any of you to speak of matters if it makes you uncomfortable. But I don't know which of you came about your enhancements as a result of the Silver Storm, or whether you had it beforehand. It is a personal matter, and I can tell you that I myself have not benefited at all, and I was outdoors at the time. I was covered.
All of your superpowers are not associated with the Silver Storm.
All of my superpowers, well, my luck in business and my intellect, sir, are
I would call those superpowers.
Are more than some, but I personally would not refer to them as superpowers. I would like to think of myself as a modest genius.
So super privileged, not super powered.
Is that like
Indeed.
the nice guy that, are you like the nice guy that calls himself a nice guy?
No,
I'm going to take a step away to make sure I'm not in between.
From the modest, I'm
You
The
modest,
Raven and the billionaire. This sounds like a bad.
he says, no, Lady Crowfeather, I have never once claimed to be nice, not in my personage or in my business. I find that those who are perceived as nice and are also perceived as weak. And I don't have that problem.
Is he legitimately intelligent?
Is he legitimately intelligent?
Yeah. How can I ascertain that? There's some people that just claim to be smart. I'd like to see if he's really is smart.
Sure.
we're talking
sure.
Dunning-Kruger here? Yeah.
I was going to say he's not named Dunning or Kruger, so that's a good sign, right?
I don't know. You failed your last insight check. So.
I did. I got nothing on that.
Let's see.
I'm concerned now that people think that I'm weak because I'm nice.
Chapter 8.
I don't have that problem.
Wait, I thought you were weak.
What was
Jordan.
what were your insight checks about his truthfulness, about just listening to him speak? And
17.
17. Okay.
If that's
he's being absolutely truthful. He's a master of lying, one of the two, because he has no tells. He seems like he is insightful and considerate. He doesn't rush his answers like they're scripted. He seems like he carefully thinks about his answers. And when he talks about things like modesty, you believe he's actually not modest. You believe these are words his therapist have probably fed him about dealing with his megalomania and about his ego, because what you know about him in business is he is self-made in the sense that he rose high in one company first, took it over, led it to new places, which made him rich. And then he just started. And before you know it, the dude is a mega conglomerate by himself and represents thousands and thousands and thousands of people's jobs in Emerald City alone, as well as all over the world.
And he's like in his 50s, right?
He is. Does it say his age, or is he one of those freaks who protects?
He's looking pretty 45 to 58.
Yeah, I have him pegged just by his look that he is, in his 40s. I would also say that he's probably one of these guys that hides his age, that goes out of his way to make sure his publicist keeps that shit scrubbed out of the media because he doesn't want people to know his age.
It's the gray hairs that are dyed.
One of the
It's the gray hair. Yeah, he dyes gray hair and puts on prosthetic wrinkles to look older than he really is.
I tried to remember to when he first started coming to be known as somebody interesting, and I have eidetic memory, so anything I would have read or come across or anything else in my lifetime, I get a bonus to remember those things.
Yeah. So what you know about Mars, the background kind of mystique about him, the accepted lore about him. It's about as far as you can get as far as the confirmation trail. It's so perpetuated at this point that it's become the truth, whether it is or not. The lore behind it is at one point, he built a super suit. And he was running around as a super. And there's also some stories that he rode the line between super, not super, like trying to figure shit out. He didn't really know where he fit in the grand scheme of things. Like he came out as a superhero and then got government sanctioned and pressured by the government and various countries, the UN and such, which had him, working as a mercenary for a little bit. And then suddenly he just dropped the whole thing and went into business, and has basically been this business person ever since. It is not known officially or otherwise that he has any superpowers, other than he's smart enough to build a super suit that allowed him to fucking take on some of the Iron Man-y kind of, he could fly around and it gave him strength. And I believe he had some beam weapons associated with it as well.
Okay, I sit with that information. I just think on it.
Yeah. So that would have been like his early 20s when he was doing that. Now he is probably in his late 40s into his early 50s as far as the time kind of table goes. And he caught a lot of flack in the beginning because people accused him of using his super influences to make a small fortune to launch his businesses. None of that could have been substantiated. It never, ever was. And there's plenty of paper trail to the contrary that that's not how it happened, but who knows? The suspicion was placed, and the black mark on the reputation is there nonetheless, because he's always been super successful. There is something to be said about Maximilian Mars. Everything he touches turns to gold. Everything he invests in makes a profit. Every company he buys grows. Every fucking thing he puts his fingers on, he has an uncanny ability to spin it into profits. And his whole life has been blessed that way.
Interesting.
So he says, "What else? What else can I tell you? What other information can I help in?" Well, clearly, he stops. He says, "Let me start over. It seems to me that you have begun an investigation, even though you're not calling it that as such. Is that fair?" He kind of looks around at all of you.
I think that's fair.
I
Very
would
much
like
so.
to. I would like to fund that investigation, if I may.
I'll look
Don't
to
say
Mr.
no to that
Peters.
sponsorship.
Is there anything else besides my financial support and access to Mars Tech that I can do for you to help that investigation along?
Is it involved with this Federation of Evil?
I'm sorry?
Is this Silver Storm as a result of the FOE?
I suppose they could have sent the group here as a ruse to send us off their trail, but I don't take them for being that intelligent. I think they were. I think they were generally sending those people here to find out what the fuck themselves. They had a very what the fuck kind of manner about them. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I think access to your resources, your computer systems, minimal financing needed to fund our lives.
Minimal? Why are we going minimal? This guy's
Well,
rich.
I can certainly promise you access to certain things. There will be plenty of systems, high security systems within the various companies that
Do you
I
have
myself,
any
I myself
leads
don't
for
even
us?
have access to them. I'm sorry, Jose?
Do you have any leads for us? We don't really know much here, but what happened other than,
Leads.
well, you're saying investigate, pursue, do what? All we really had here as an idea was
We have that piece.
Nanoparticle
Yeah.
piece.
And minimal, Jordan, for this guy's gonna be like more money than we've ever seen in our lives.
Oh,
There
I'm fine with
is-
this deal. I'm just wondering what we should do next. That's fine.
I think that the next we need to arrange a meeting with the law offices. The woman that wouldn't meet with us at the police station because she didn't know who we were. The detective running that. I think that
The detective
yeah.
running their official investigation.
yeah, I think
Right.
that connecting back to understanding
Oh,
exactly what
some
they know.
researchers to meet with the research and investigation team of Mars Tech. They might do that
Exactly.
Sure.
and then just send us.
Are we gonna get old name badges?
2 staff
And
members.
You
two
totally just made name badges for us all, and they're all on all of us, right?
Yeah. Everyone's got name badges. Yeah.
You all have your little Zoso symbol next to it. Yeah.
Like, oh, these
A
they look
Mars
official,
Tech
right?
a Mars Tech employee rolls like an AV cart with a large kind of cylindrical thing with a bunch of lenses, kind of a planetarium kind of looking thing. And he rolls that out and he says, sir, you requested a media uplink. And he says, yes, just right over here, anywhere. And he rolls it over kind of where you guys are. He locks down the wheel and he flips the main switch on it and it powers up.
That's cool.
And it displays screens out of it, flat panel screens that are in hologram kind of displays all around it. And it would seem that he has prepared a media stream on each one of you.
But they're like,
So there's a bunch of
My YouTube channel's playing.
so there's a bunch of different channels playing, all coming out of this thing. No audio is coming out of it as yet, but each one of you are featured in various channels, and it like is continuous or cut scenes. Like certainly for Velocity, it's a lot of cut scenes for you because you start and stop in different places. It's got
how far back does it have? Just recently?
It's got your guys' response to the Silver Storm forward.
Okay.
So there's scenes as early as the Silver Storm forward. Now, interestingly enough, all of these streams are branded on the Mars Tech network, which I'll pull the actual name up, but you just know they're all on his news network, Mars News Network, MNN, whatever.
He needs to make sure he gets my name right, because I think he had it wrong before. I've changed it a couple of times, but it's Kid Blackout. So
Blackout?
Kid Blackout, not Darkwave.
He's
He's
changing
still finding
it.
himself.
He's gonna change it again. Just
I'm
you
a
wait.
teenager. What do you want from me? Kid
He'll
Blackout.
change it again.
Well, interestingly enough, on all these feeds, they have digitized out your face. In any case where your face is captured, and there was a lot of footage where your face was captured. And in the initial run, when it went public the first time, you saw it played with, oh, fuck, Steve. Look, you're on fucking camera, dude. Oh, and then you just fucking disappeared on camera, right? That kind of stuff. So each one of you see a screen of your highlight reels up to this point, right? And as you're captivated and you're watching, he says, and here's what my concept team has come up with. Then all of your screens kind of change to artist representations of you all in like Emerald City colored super suits, like tights and capes. And like the symbol on the chest is blurred out, like it's to be determined or it's being hidden. And all of you are wearing like enough obscuration of your face. You're not wearing classic eye mask. Maybe one or two of you like the eye mask design. Some of you are doing like avant-garde mask face. Some of you have like the upper and the lower breaks. Like your identities are being obscured by all of these, and they're like, and it's got like luchador, daydream, velocity, crow feather, and then it goes Darkwave, and then it goes and he goes, what was that? He's changing it. What
Kid Blackout.
Jordan wants Kid Blackout. No, that's what he said. No. Yes, it changes. It changes in front of you.
He's gonna change his name.
That was gonna
like
be
I
my
changed
question.
my
Like, how
clothes.
fast can he change it in my head?
It
Like,
leaves
how fast can he change
Darkwave
it?
in place with a strike through and a Kid Blackout in more like a spray painted graffiti letters over the top of it, like you had come along and fucking
All
changed
right,
it
all right.
like an
That's
asshole.
pretty legit.
Um,
They got you nailed, Jordan.
Every session, you're going to be changing your name, aren't you?
No, it's too much work.
he says, I can tell you the leader of the FOE is an individual who calls themselves Big Brain. And, well,
Does he have a literally big brain, or is this figurative?
No, he just had one good idea.
We can call
he had
him
an idea to
Smooth
start a
Brain.
fellowship
He
of
had one
evil,
good idea.
and the rest was downhill from there.
Yeah, even with the forming of the name of that group.
If the name Big Brain was his one good idea, then it wasn't a good idea. We're back to Dunning-Kruger again, right? We're back.
I think that he came up with that name after he had his good idea.
That's right.
All right. Well, that's great that we've gotten an alias.
So that is a possible lead, but like we concluded before, I don't believe they actually know anything, or they wouldn't have sent.
Whether they know anything or not, is it within our purview just to dismantle this FOE? I mean, do we have authorization just to take them out?
Are
Is
they
that
local
possible?
guys, or is this like a big? Right, because like we've only met three of them. I lost count. But how many of them are there? Is this a big organization? How long have they been around? I mean, we don't want to just dive into the deep end of the pool, right?
The FOE again is a larger organization in other regions.
Okay.
They haven't been too much of a threat here, although if you openly advertise that your city has no superheroes, what do you think is the first thing attracted to your city with no superheroes?
Supervillains.
Or
Filling a
villains.
vacuum.
Regular
Or-
villains.
Or villainous souls who may consider themselves super or not. Yes.
Self-proclaimed supervillains.
So Honestly, friends, I'm not in the business of superheroing. I haven't been for some time, and between yourselves and them,
For some time, you were before.
Yeah, he was before.
many years ago, yes, I dipped my toe in the water years ago. Like you had, he says, like you had implied, Steve, that I had superpowers. The only superpower that I ever had access to was someone else's R&D laboratory and engineering department and my own brain. Truth be told, and he kind of looks over his shoulders and he says, comms off. And you hear confirm. Security, confirm. Says, truth be told, I stole all of the parts of the original suit that I built back in the day. So there was a lawsuit for quite some time about who owned the suit, who had rights to it. And I just kept moving it around to different geographies because it made it trifling difficult for them to find their property, much less claim it. Eventually, I just got tired of all that, and I gave it back to them. So I understand that sometimes you need to do things to do the right thing to get things done. And I am in support of this philosophy within reason. And I hope that all of your reasons can be trusted, because Emerald City is, well, this is my home, and I have a lot invested here. Besides the billions of dollars, I will invested here.
I trust and will follow Mr. Stevens' direction. He's a man. He's full blown lawyer. He knows the law. He'll be able to deal with this stuff.
Are we good with the matter of the Silver Storm? Can we move on to new business?
I believe so.
New business? Okay.
I think we're as good as we're gonna get right now.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. I would also remind you, as we spoke of before, that the residue that you were able to collect is clearly technology beyond even my people's capacity, which only points in one direction. And that's the stars.
What?
So
Absolutely.
perhaps you could
Or
to-
another possibility is the future.
aliens, Jose, aliens, alien technology,
It's either aliens or it's the future.
which would likely be aliens as well.
In the future, we are the aliens.
This is fine. So if we can close discussions on, he goes, I almost forgot. He goes, re-engage comms, and you hear them all clicking back on online, security, online. You see people now coming from the outside. You see maintenance people with jump jets on their backs and tools and things coming from the outside and welding new girder structures, like they're fixing the fucking building right before your eyes. That's
Nice.
just kind of happening. Like a guy will thrust up in place and be like, sorry. He's doing all his work and he's just like, it's just part of it. Plenty of drones are being deployed as well. A couple of those drones have come into the area where you are, and they're like positioning themselves so they're blowing all the construction dust back outside and keeping the area relatively good from there. He says, well, excellent then. He says, well, I know that you wanted to come and speak to me, but I also wanted to speak to you. And he refers back to this media display thing that he's got going on here. And he says, I believe this investigation can grow into bigger things. And, well, I don't really feel comfortable about big things happening around me that I'm not involved in. So I'd like to very much be involved in your big thing. and I have an offer of a most grave nature to make to all of you.
Okay.
Amidst the sound of settling debris, you hear the crackling of concrete. Your attention is drawn through the gaping hole that still remains in the wall, despite their efforts to fix it. You can see a large bubble grow out of the paved pathway. A second later, it retracts, and a voice calls out, "We should have known you couldn't be trusted, Mars!" Standing inside is the Freedom League. Johnny Rocket, Bowman, Dr. Metropolis, and their newest recruit, Seven. Dr. Metropolis speaks before, and he continues.
Is he kind of blue?
I'm sorry?
Is Dr. Metropolis kind of blue?
He's not. He's not that Dr. Metropolis.
Okay. Sure.
Or was that Mr. Metropolis?
That was Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan. That's right. That's right. Close, but no copyright. Before, let's see. And now you'll pay for what you've done. Before you can reply, Dr. Metropolis shakily puts one hand to his forehead and yells, "Get out of my head!" With the other hand, he points at Mars. Immediately, the buildings come alive around you. Steel and concrete flow like mud to form grasping hands and swinging mallets, while the other Freedom Leaguers quickly follow his lead and attack. So it is clear to you that this group of heroes have popped into the scene and they are on like Donkey Kong.
Right.
So we are
They seem a lot like the last
That's-
group of
right.
heroes.
That
Yeah.
sounds
These are the
amazing.
hero ones.
They didn't even stick around to monologue
Right.
much. They just
No, they
popped in and
Can we just concentrate on one of these guys to kick the shit on this time?
popped. This scene, as we change the scenes into this combat and roll initiative for this scene, we have ended part 1 and we have entered part 2
So
officially.
we'll grab those.
And part
PP,
2 title is Out of Their League.
and I need to hit the head.
Sure.
Does that sound like us or them? Maybe it's
I'm not
That's us.
sure.
We're out of their league for sure.
What was your initiative roll, Miyu, before you do so?
Let me get that for you.
If you please.
Yep. That
Remember
would be
you-
s-
No, remember you have a
Did you
bonus.
hit me? Did you hit me with that? I guess
Yeah.
that it hasn't timed out, right? You're still. It's
It
still
doesn't
running.
time out. No.
Okay, so
so we got a
then
bonus here.
If I check, that's the tactical
Teleport.
teleport that's on. Okay, so that would mean that wow, that really bumps things up a lot. That would give me a 23 initiative.
23. Okay, thank
and
you.
I'll be back.
Jordan, what did you get?
Well, I got a 20 before Steve's magic fucking whatever thing that I don't understand. But
So add 12. Add 12 to what you rolled.
that's pretty
32
handy.
then. I got a 32.
A 32. Okay. Steve?
Oh yeah. 32 also.
Okay.
Wait.
I thought you had like a 75 initiative or something crazy
No.
like.
Hold on a second. It's not 32. It's 32 plus 12. So it's 44.
44.
I hate you guys. I'm so inadequate.
No, you're not. What'd you roll?
Fuck you.
So you got plus 12 from his thing, plus 1 for your initiative. So that's 13 to your roll.
Yeah.
I rolled-
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a 4, so I got a 17.
17. Okay. I didn't hear your roll.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I didn't mention it. I'm just complaining about how un-Uber I am amongst these gods.
Phyllis.
7 total.
How much?
7. Much
So
like our
you-
villain, we're gonna fight.
You
You
got the
can't
plus
have a
12
total
bonus
of a
too,
plus
right?
13.
I rolled a 5, and then my initiative is 2.
And you've
Is
got
there
the
a-
plus 12 bonus from Steve.
So you got a
Oh,
19.
wow. Okay, so yeah, 19.
19. Okay. 19.
And I'm being the slow, dumb one.
And-
Well, I'll just go here, see what all those rich folk want, and I'll do what they do. 'Cause I'm, Okay,
You're
sir.
still
Okay.
faster than most people. though.
Okay. I'm mow the lawn now. Okay.
17, 15. All right. Steve at the top of the order.
I look to Mars and I say,
What the hell, man?
what's your strategy here? Should we just remove ourselves or are we fighting?
He says, he says, I'm surprised they're here. I would have expected if anyone showed up, it would be Captain Thunder. He goes, I'm not sure what's going on.
Should we just get out of here then?
No,
as
this is
that
his
happens,
place.
I touch him and I give him as well the ability to teleport.
Oh, that's just not wise.
Okay.
So now we're going to have a fight by the Eiffel Tower or something, equally as.
Okay.
But we can only teleport 900 feet, guys. So it's very limited.
So it's a D door. It's not really a teleport. Okay.
Yeah. View it more as a D door. But one of the things that you can do with this teleport, you can teleport, attack, and then teleport back to where you were at. So you don't actually have to be in.
So I could be sitting down, having a brandy and a cigar. Bam, I'm up. Punch me in the face. I'm back with brandy and cigar.
That's right.
That's
I want to
Not
see
a bad
Jose with
life.
brandy and a cigar. That's a funny image right there.
You actually could let go.
All right. Well,
Brandon the
it's
cigar
Jose,
and
so
catch
it's
it.
more like
At the moment the
Yeah.
Freedom League arrives and suddenly attacks, the players all receive a hero point.
Oh, okay.
you with a lime in it, maybe a Marlboro.
1 hero point. And do we get those PP now, or are we getting them after the fight? Or
Technically, you have them now, but you don't have time to do anything with them.
got it.
Let's see.
Okay.
All right. So before initiative rolled, Dr. Metropolis did manage to get off a strike, which is kind of the thing that keys it all off. His monologue ended with him doing a display of power. And let me make sure I'm understanding what that's saying. Doctor, part 1. Oh yeah, I guess their attack starts part 2. Correct. Okay. So oh, that's what's happening. Okay. So it's Dr. Metropolis who was doing the talking, and he's also animating the buildings and turning them into things that are striking. So that's what he opens his strike with. And he will, with his animated object, he is going to attack Maximilian Mars. So he basically forms them into 2 big giant arms with mallets on the end. And so the building themselves are attacking Max. All right. So that is an offense animated object. Unarmed plus 10 and does close damage 6 against Maximilian's. That would be his physical attacks are rolled against his what?
Dodge or parry.
It's his dodge, right?
It would be parry. Dodge is if there's a ranged weapon.
Dodge is for range.
All right, so parry. So it's his parry plus 10, right?
Right.
Okay, versus plus 10 on the hit. The first strike will miss, as will the second. So both of the animated building strikes against him missed. And that brings us to the top of the order, which brings us back to Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's where we started what I just did, right? And that was the quick little conversation that we had with Max, and I gave him the ability to teleport as well. And
that was your action?
I think that was my action. And then the question is he presenting as if he's planning to attack, or is he just going to spend the same? If he's right in the corner,
so how it goes down is you're having a conversation. What do you think about it? The first strike comes in, boom. He jumps to the side. He turns and answers you. He looks back. The second strike comes in, boom. He looks back. You know, that's kind of how, like, he's talking to you while this thing is smashing. He hasn't really taken an action other than to try to not be hit just yet. But clearly, the last thing he says to you in your conversation is I'm the fucking bad guy. Like he's attacking me. Like I'm the bad guy. All right. So Jordan, you are up next in the initiative order, followed by Miyu.
Okay, so first thing, I'm going to pop my telekinetic force field, which will double my toughness.
Okay.
I'm going to pop the mental comms up and just to everybody in the group say comms are up, like in their heads so you guys can hear it. Basically, it just means we can all communicate mentally as long as we stay within a mile area of each other. We can just think to each other. Right.
Okay.
We don't say anything out loud. And then I guess I'll try and attack the guy that's doing the twisty metal.
Attack the animated object, the building.
Yeah. Professor Downtown or whatever his name is, that guy, you know.
Well, they're still kind of down at street level, and he started animating the building and attacking you guys up where you are. So they're still down and below. You can certainly strike at the animated arms and the mallets and try to stop that in action from happening if you'd like, or you can exit the building. Tell me how you're going to travel down to where he is and attack them directly.
So you said there's a big hole, yeah?
Yeah.
Is it big enough to fly through?
Absolutely.
I will fly through it and fly down and attack the guy. I'm gonna stay, you know, I'm gonna hover, so I'll be up, I don't know, 20, 30 feet in the air.
How are you doing fly? Remind me how you fly.
Telekinetic levitation.
Yeah. Telekinesis. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you're gonna TK yourself out the. Can you do all of those things in one round?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yes. According to Steve,
put up the force field, turn on your psychic stuff, and fly out the window.
It doesn't look like
I don't think
the force field takes any action economy.
Right.
And the levitation is just flight. They're not arrays. So
yeah, it's just movement.
All powers at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the comm thing is it's just something I have. I'm just letting you guys know it's there, kind of thing. I don't have to turn on per se.
Okay. All right. And you're gonna fly out and down to be ready to attack the group next round, or you're just flying out the hole to get line of sight on the bad guys.
I'll fly,
or the good guys as they were.
I'll fly. Like I said, I'll fly down. I want to be about 30 feet up in the air, assuming that that's out of swinging distance for anybody.
Seems to be. Yeah.
And I'll queue up and attack next round.
They do not have any gargantues, but they're all like on ground level so far. So
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'll hang 30 feet up and attack next round.
okay,
That works.
all right, sounds good. Jordan to Miyu following Phyllis. Miyu, you're up.
All right. I'm going to make a guess that this guy needs to have line of sight to us to keep attacking with his building hands. So what I'm going to do is gamble on that and basically turn off the lights within the 30 foot radius of myself. Everything's going to just darken as if a shadow is cast in the building, which
Okay.
reduces visibility to -5. So it's just like everything just falls into shadow. Can't see anything within 30 feet.
Reduces visibility. So that means whatever your normal sight is, it's reduced by 5 feet.
No, it's a visibility modifier, reduces it. -5 is the second level of visibility modifier. So there's let me find its description. It's described in the book somewhere here. We can find.
So that just means they're in the dark.
It goes dark.
People can't see more than 5 feet around them, or can they even see 5 feet?
I'm not sure. I don't know if
it reduces the visibility by 5 levels, I think.
Right. Yeah. So whatever the visibility light is, let me see if I can find visibility in the.
I think it uses that same chart for the.
I think you're right. Let's see here. Where's the ranks and measures table? Does it say anything about visibility?
You know, it would just be on the distance part.
All right, where is, yeah. I was wondering if it was going to show like how distance, the throwing distance rank has a calculation. I was wondering if it was going to show something like that. But let me look at, see if I can find where it says visibility in here. Sorry, I keep pulling out things like this that.
Yeah, how dare you look up the rules?
Glossary, maybe.
What is the skill associated with like knowledge of supers? Is there a skill associated that would work with that? Is there a knowledge skill or knowledge?
I think so.
It would be
like if you heard all of these superheroes' names, what's the skill that would determine whether or not you knew what that meant, other than just their names? Like,
I think it would be.
Is it like a pop culture thing?
I suppose
It could be an expertise. Like you could have expertise in art, business, carpentry, magic, military. I'm sure supers would be a potential one in there.
Hmm.
I mean, the expertise seems to be all intellect based. It's all, like law, police officers, professionals. If that's the one that seems to fit the most. Yeah, it's expertise, and then it would be based off of what expertise domain they had selected.
Okay. I was hoping there would be something a little bit easier.
So let's see. The effect is environment. You impose a -5. All right, so it's a -5 modifier to perception checks.
-5 modifier to perception checks.
Is the visibility.
Okay.
So everything goes dark. It's hard to see.
All right. Let's see.
And then I don't know if that's actually going to help us in this case, but that's the idea. So I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move out of the building hole. I'm going to start moving like towards the hole of the building. So I'm kind of.
Does the
further
darkness
back
stay
there.
centered on you, or does it move with you?
That's a good question.
I assume you just decide, right?
Let's see here. It is sustained, and it says it's a 30-foot radius around you.
So it moves with you.
So I guess it would move with me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which would make sense, right? If you were like trying to sneak in somewhere, then
Yeah.
you would have this.
Well, I imagine because it's
extra shadow.
environment is used for things like it starts raining around me. It's like, okay, as I move, the invisible thundercloud follows.
Yeah.
So they are considered very well known.
Okay.
The members of the Freedom League are very well known. So I would think that would lower the DC really low. Now, I would think that you wouldn't have to be an expert to know that kind of stuff. Maybe it's just an intelligence check at the DC. I don't know. I'll research it to figure it out. But they make implications that you would just know who these people are by their name, and it's Dr. Metropolis and Johnny Rocket and Seven. And if you didn't know, if you've had your head in the Emerald City sand and you've literally not been about supers at all, then you likely don't have any clue what any of this means.
Yeah.
So
I think it would be an intelligence at a either -2 or -5, depending on how difficult it is.
yeah.
It seems like it would be an expertise.
Yeah, that's what I said. But,
yeah,
but
I think but if you're doing it more general, then it would just have to be the ability check, right? Like intelligence.
I mean, who do
awareness.
you want rolling it?
Who do I want rolling? No, I was just asking to see if there was on a personal level, if there was a skill or a role that any of you could make to really kind of connect with who those folks are. Because they're not fixtures of Emerald City, but they are Freedom League, which is kind of big deal outside of the city. So I would say that anyone who got their powers as a result of the Silver Storm probably has no fucking clue, probably doesn't really care or has cared up to this point, unless you're into superhero culture. You may be into it. You may be into comic books. You may be into superhero culture on the side even before it happened to you. That's up to you. If you had powers and you had all that kind of stuff ahead of time, then there's far greater chance that you would have paid attention to such things and would know what those various names mean or what these various entities are. Dr. Metropolis. The Dr. Metropolis character is wearing a tight spandex gray suit. He has a gold diamond set in his chest. He wears a green hood and a green mask. The Johnny Rocket character is a speedster looking guy, young blonde crew cut in a blue spandex suit. The individual called Bowman looks like an archer. He's wearing tan and gray, and he's also head shrouded and has a bow in his hand. And finally, the one they called Seven looks like she is in a form-fitting yet very kind of sexy outfit with a flowing, almost living cloak in green and black with swirls and spots, and you can almost see faces every once in a while manifesting in her cloak. So that's who you're looking at as the group.
Okay.
And you're gonna fly out just out the hole and over them, Mew?
I'm gonna start. Well, I'm pretty far back from the hole, so I'm gonna hit the environment trigger and the
Boom.
darkening shroud, so things kind of start dimming.
So as you move, things
and
are
I'm
darkening
moving.
as
Yeah,
you-
things are darkening and just being a little bit more difficult to see. And I'm moving towards the hole. So I'll probably my
Stop
turn. I
at the
expect I'll
hole.
get to the hole.
Yeah, you'll
with
stop
movement.
at the hole, maybe floating in it, covering the hole in darkness.
Yeah.
All right. Moving to Phyllis and then followed by Jose. Phyllis, you're up.
Have I gotten the magic touch from Steve Stevenson? I have. Okay. So in that case, I am going to, man, see, part of me wants to go down there and investigate. I'm one of these people. I have no idea who these people are. You know what I mean? I have, who are these people?
Bad
and
guys.
why are they pissed off at us? You know, I want to go down there, teleport. I want to teleport and attack, but another part of me just wants to go down there and investigate. And then another part of me wants to stop getting smashed by the walls.
Max is saying we should de-escalate. This is just a case of mistaken identity. I'm sure this isn't like the Freedom League. Let's show them that we're bigger than this, guys. Let's show them. You know,
Okay.
let's
Okay. That's fair. I didn't wake up this morning wanting to fight two groups of people in two separate attacks. I'm not in the mood for this. I'm never in the mood for any of this. So I'm in bear form. Going to go ahead and change into bear form.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to go old school. I'm going to climb out the side of the building down to the ground and just say, what is this? What do you want? Like, is there anything we can help you with? I don't understand what's going on here.
So you're climbing down. You're climbing down, and can you talk when you're in bear form, or do you just?
I'm gonna make. I can talk in bear form. I can talk in bear form.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that. I don't think there's anything in my character that says
It's cocaine bear. Okay.
Yeah. Just yeah.
All right, fair. So you're climbing down the side of the building, chastising them as you go.
Say what? Yeah. I perhaps don't speak quite clearly, but I
That's
am
okay.
intelligible.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, done and done. Jose, up.
Bam! Teleport, grab, smash.
Who are you grabbing?
The guy who was talking.
You're gonna try to grab. You're gonna teleport down to Dr. Metropolis.
Yeah, puny god. Bam! That's my plan.
All right. So you're trying to teleport right next to him.
Yeah.
This is how Jose de-escalates.
Okay.
Well, de-escalation, winning the fight. Right?
Guy comes in out of nowhere. He starts attacking us. Take it. No. Bam. That's the plan.
Okay. All right. So you teleport next to him.
Yep. Grab.
You are attacking against his parry, correct?
I don't know.
His parry D is going to be 22.
All right. So I'm doing my all-out attack. And I'm gonna roll. That's what
It's
I'm
gonna go
gonna
off
do.
the rails real quick.
That is a ooh. Ooh,
That's a good
oh
thing.
no, that's a 2. That's not good. How can I impress the boss when I roll a 2?
Yeah, but you can just teleport right back now. You don't have to stay there.
I don't know.
Rubber band. Wing.
So 2, 7. Yeah. Not so good, really. Hmm.
When making a power attack, you can take a penalty on your attack. No, which
I'm looking for my bonuses here. Oh yeah, here we are. Okay. It's not so great. So that's a 15. 15 to hit.
All right. So
I'm gonna miss.
bam! Done and done. Jose to thems. Okay. So Johnny Rocket is gonna speed up over to Jose. Super speed, agile feint, close attack, quickness, arm spinning tornado. All right. All right.
I'm about to get discombobulated. That's what's gonna happen here. Not gonna be pretty.
All right. So if I'm reading this correctly, he has the fast attack, burst area. Oh, so when he does his flurry of blows, it's actually an area of effect. So if he can get two people side by side, he can actually flurry of blows both of them. I was like, cone, like area, what? Burst, what? All right. So multi-attack plus 13, and he can get 4 of those.
Yeah, he's about to beat the crap me because I just did an all-out attack, which cost me 5 off my.
When you do multi-attack against one person, he doesn't get 4 attacks against them.
He has 2 separate attack rolls. Says flurry of blows +3/+8 multi-attack. Only if he has a lower initiative than his opponents. Oh, I see. Got it. All right. So what the fuck does multi-attack even do?
It's not really as powerful as you think.
Multi-attack is not the most useful thing in the
Well,
universe.
it's flurry of blows.
Yeah.
Right?
It's useful when there's a bunch of people, but it's not useful against one person very much.
You can use multi-attack to take 2 attacks against one target, but it's not great.
All right, so he'll do that. He'll take 2 attacks against you because you're the only one that's there. He zips up and he's doing the and keep going. So he's doing the he's doing that bullshit. So the first one at plus 13 is a 23 against your parry defense.
I think it's
that'll hit.
Separate
by a lot.
The modifiers. Look at the modifier for multi-attack. Because it works weird. So it's not simple like in every other game where it's just like, oh, roll an attack, now roll a second attack. It uses like you roll an attack and then something else is at minus something for it's weird.
There are 3 ways in which a multi-attack effect can be used. The single target and multi-bullet targets are as covering attack. Let's get the rules on this.
So you're using a single target attack. So to use a multi-attack against a single target, make your attack check normally. If successful, increase the attack's resistance check DC by +2 for 2 degrees of success and +5 for 3 or more.
So it basically does more damage against that one person.
I see. That makes sense. All right. So he did a 23 against your parry defense. How much more above it was it?
Well, my parry defense ain't great because my parry is currently only at 1.
So that would be 11.
11, yeah. So I think that's 2 degrees.
So 3 degrees on top.
A 23 versus 11 is 12. So
why is your parry a 1? I'm seeing 6.
Because I just used all of attack, gives me a -5.
Oh, okay.
So that's 2. Okay, so that's 2 degrees of success.
So his damage is 8 with 3 degrees of success. Does that mean 9, 10, 11? The damage is 11
It's 2
of
degrees.
success.
or 2 degrees of
It's fine.
success?
So that would be plus 2 D
So
to
that'd
the
be 10.
DC. So that adds plus 2 to the resistance check DC.
So
Wow.
damage is 8.
So 10. So the DC, so the DC for the resistance check is
Is 18, right?
Which is fine because I got
no,
I got a 28 resistance, but
it's-
29.
it's plus 15, not plus 10.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 23 base plus 2 more for the
25.
shift. So 25 is what you needed.
I got a 29, so I'm fine.
So you're good.
Okay.
So still no damage.
All right. All right. So he
Still,
does
he clocked me pretty good.
he does a flyby. He does that. Bowman jumps up into the air, so he's right next to Miyu, and he looks at you and gives you a little wink and blows you a kiss, and then fires arrows down onto Luchador as well. And he says, "Ah, there's the girl." Mwah.
Ew.
Yeah. Ranged weapon plus 16. Okay. So he's going to take his shot.
It's nothing against you, Phyllis, but you're a bear right now.
Ooh.
So.
Yeah, fair.
19 on the die plus 16. That's certainly going to hit. And it says crit on a 16 to 20. Can you look up what a crit means for me on a weapon? He's shooting his bow. He rolled a 19. So I'm guessing that 16 to 20 means on the natural 16 or 20 rolls. His damage is normally 4. Does a crit just double it?
No, I think it just adds a 5 to it.
Let's see. Critical
Or does
hit.
it make it harder to defend
So,
against the shots?
So with a critical hit, you automatically hit regardless of your target's defense, and you score a threat. When you get a natural 20. So if he gets a 20, he's got a critical so wait, number 16, is that supposed to act as a 20, or is that
he
the
crits
number?
on a 16 to 20.
He crits
So-
on a 16 to 20. Okay.
So he gets a critical on a 16, 17, 18,
got
19,
it.
and 20.
So he gets a critical threat.
Okay.
So then it might be a critical hit. To find out if it's a critical hit, determine if the attack check total is equal to or greater than the target's defense.
Oh, it certainly is.
Greater.
If
Oh, yeah.
so, it is a critical hit.
It was a
Wanna-
35.
All right.
35 to
So
an 11.
a
Yeah.
critical hit gives you 3 different choices.
Who gets to choose, me or him?
You get to choose.
Okay.
You can either increase the effect by plus 5, so it makes it increase the resistance difficulty by plus 5.
Okay.
You can add an effect onto the attack,
Okay.
or you can choose an alternate effect as if using the extra effort for power stunt.
So he is going to add an effect to the shot.
Okay, so if you add another effect, its effective rank is 0. The resistance DC is just the base value. The added effect can be anything the player can reasonably describe and justify as adjunct to the original effect. For instance, an affliction, dazzle, or weaken, to name a few.
Oh, I thought he could add one of his effects to. Okay, that I misunderstood.
So he could like add a dazzle to it, like, oh, you get hit with the arrow and blood gets in your eyes, and so you're dazzled. Would be an example of an added effect.
Let's not do that. Let's just instead go for the raised DC.
All right, so plus 5 to the attacks
Yeah.
effect DC.
Yeah. So that's 19 plus 5 is going to be a 24 to resist the first bow shot.
Okay. See how that works out. No, 21.
So 21, 24, that was
That's 3 points, which is one
which is one bruise.
bruise, right?
1 bruise. Yeah. Okay. Second shot from him is a 5 on the die.
Wait, he gets 2 shots?
He does every
Holy shit.
round. So
Wow.
weapon is plus 16, 5 on the die is a 21. So it's going to hit, but not a crit.
Correct.
So the damage normally is 14, on to 15 is 19. So you're rolling against a 19. Right?
Toughness check.
Yeah.
Made it just.
All right. So no bruises from his second shot. That is Johnny Rocket runs by. Bowman takes 2 shots. Stink, stink. After flirting with Miyu, makes it a point to flirt with Miyu first.
Can't fight my friends and flirt at the same time. That's not cool.
The woman in the flowing purple and black robes, she kind of does this with her hands, and a shimmering effect kind of bathes the whole area. And last but not least, Dr. Metropolis, he is going to he's going to pull all of a sudden, like they're standing ground level. The all the asphalt and cement around them got broken up when they teleported in. It just kind of smashed it. So he picks up all these pieces seemingly with his mind and surrounds himself suddenly with this kind of encasement, this armor, if you will, of rebar and chunks of cement, pieces of asphalt, the grate from the water vein, all these things just kind of take place around him. And he spends the round building up his defenses in front of you, Jose. That will end their turn. Also on their turn, Maximilian Mars will step into the hole. And he will say, "You're making a mistake.
No.
You need to stand down. Metropolis, for damn sake, Metropolis. You're usually so level-headed." Steve, to you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Stevens, get him.
Okay.
Velocity.
What's it? They're the League of what? League of Legends? League of, like, who are they?
They are the Freedom League.
Thank you.
Sounds like a daughter of the American Revolution.
Okay, so I am going to teleport right in front of this Dr. Octopus, this doctor guy.
You cannot teleport into the zone that has been created by the woman. You can teleport just outside of it, and you appear just outside of this purpley zone that the woman has cast over the entire area, and you recognize it to be some kind of temporal shielding.
Okay.
So you're just right on the outside of it. You are, it's kind of centered on Metropolis, and it goes out in 40, 50 feet in all areas around him. And you can see it. It's a shimmery looking kind of energy curtain. It's not really a dome. It's sort of like it looks like a dome that's been kind of pushed and flattened out. It's wider than it is tall.
Okay, so I teleport as close to them as I can get.
Yep.
And I use a temporal shout, which is auditory communication, which everybody can hear what I'm saying within a mile. The way that this presents itself is there's 1,000 different faces that just kind of morph out of my face and speak all at the same time. And I say, "Stop this madness, Freedom League. What the fuck is wrong with you? You attack without provocation. You're supposed to be the good guys. Do you really want to bring this fight?"
Make an insight check.
and the intent was to persuade them to stand down. An
Sure.
insight check.
Yeah.
Oh, I got an actual 20 on that one. Insight. So that's a 25.
All right. So the one that was described as Dr. Metropolis, the one in the green hood and mask, his eyes are glowing, and you think that's probably part of his shtick anyway. Like he probably has the glowy eyes and the mask thing as part of his costume, but his mask is not a worn mask. It is a prosthetic that he has placed over his face, and it moves with him, and you can see that his eyes are wide with either rage or panic. And you find that a little peculiar, Steve, because he was the one that Max described as the normally level-headed one of the league. Like, you of all people are the level-headed one of the league. What the fuck are you doing? You know, that kind of thing. So you find that to be weird. Also, you notice the one called Johnny Rocket, young 19 to 20, young 20 something. He's got gelatin hair spiked and cut in a wave. He's wearing a blue tight bodysuit that is like, you know, cut to here. So he shows the guns. He's got the matching, you know, gloves that match it as well. And you see him, he's kind of off to the side. And perhaps you even watched him run across Jose's back and pop, pop, and give him a couple as he went by. When he stopped and looked back, he is even looking at Dr. Metropolis with some concern and some surprise. That's what your insight check largely sees.
Okay.
Are you done?
Yeah. So everybody in a mile just heard me say that. So
Okay.
Know that the League of the Freedom League is instigating this fight. And should I roll a persuasion or not?
Sure, you can. Absolutely.
19 on persuasion
Okay.
to get them to stop.
All right. Done and done.
Done and done.
Kid Blackout. Kid Blackout.
I would like to try a mental blast on the caster of the wavy, sparkly dome.
The one called Seven, the one that's floating up in the air and just kind of billowing her cloak. And so you're going to attack Seven with a mental blast, you said?
Give it a shot.
Okay. You are going against her will. Her
It's a
will
DC
defense.
19. You have to roll, I guess.
No, you roll against her. Her will defense is a 24.
Really? That's not how we did this last time, is it? Is this what we did last time? Okay.
If it's a psychic attack, you have an attack roll that rolls against her will. Her will is a 14 plus 10.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a. It's like a normal attack, except it's
not psychic. It's telepathy.
Yeah, it's a. Mental
so you're causing the equivalent to a saving throw, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Psychic blast sounds to me like you're shooting her with something.
Mental blast.
All right. So that is an 11 plus 14 is a 25.
No, I think you did that wrong.
Okay.
So you she has a 14 will, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So it has no effect.
Okay.
All
So
right.
you zap her with the old mind spurt and it doesn't work. Do you want to move from your position or do you want to, you're still up on the building, right? Or did you teleport?
I'm 30 feet up and I'm hovering up in the air.
That's right. You're flying up in the air. The guy with the bow is also up in the air. You can't really see how he's doing it. At first, he just did the fucking anime fucking jump up in the air kind of thing, but he's hanging in place. He's hovering. His cloak is all out and billowy too. He's shooting, and you clearly see him flirting with Miyu. Like he takes 2 shots. He says something to her. He takes 2 shots and he turns back to her and he says, "So you from around here?" Jordan, you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Miyu, you're up.
All right. Okay, yeah, he's talking to me.
Yeah, he is. He's chatting you up.
What's going on here? Why are you all attacking us?
Attacking you? No, darling. We're just here to take care of Max. We didn't know that he had hired super thugs. You're looking good. Like I have a tailor that could work you into some sweet spandex, baby.
Sorry.
He flexes for you. He's got his bow in his hand. Total fuckboy. Total fuckboy vibe. Right? Straight out of the gym. Probably on his second cycle of steroids. That guy. That guy. So Miyu, it's your turn.
All right.
You're up in the air, as well as Jordan. You and here both up in the air, kind of up in the air. The bowman is up there. Phyllis is climbing down the side of the building. She's yelling like, "What the hell? What's wrong with you people? What's going on?" You know, she's coming down there. And Jose and Steve are kind of right down in the mix in the center of things.
All right. All right, I'm gonna. Oh my God, I'm gonna go down and try and keep my friends safe from these crazy people. I'm gonna be like, maybe we'll talk later, and I'm going to step off the edge and slow fall my way down.
You hear him say, "Count on it."
So confused and irritated. So yeah, I fall. I have safe fall, so I'm like falling and just sort of sliding on the edge, and the building is slowing me down as if it's made out of some soft, nice material or something like that, even though it's not at all.
Okay.
And it'll take me however long it takes to fall to the ground.
You will likely have the opportunity to line up near or on Phyllis the Bear if you want.
Okay, yeah, I can slide down next to Phyllis and try to coordinate.
Ride the teddy, slide down onto,
Yeah.
you know, like
That's a great idea.
Ride the
so
teddy.
you got her around the neck as she's climbing down, and then when she gets on all 4, you kind of just like roll over to her.
Settle into spot. I like that. That works.
All right. So Miyu is gonna. All right. So here's what I need from you. I need some kind of an acrobatics-y kind. Not a saving throw necessarily, but an acrobatics-y kind of a thing to get yourself aligned so that you're falling right and grab the bear.
Okay.
So play grab the bear for me.
I'll play grab the bear. I have
so dirty.
+3 plus.
What'd you do today? I
acrobatics.
played grab the bear, and
that.
she was fuzzy.
Fuzzy bear.
I think as soon as you get on her, then she turns into like anime style bear. Like it just looks
all
like
the lights sparkle out. Yeah, that's what illusion does. I've got that.
And a disco ball pops out her ass.
I'm having trouble lining up. I didn't roll well on that. So I'm like, I can tell I'm not going to land on her.
Is it worth changing a hero point for the adorable moment of you riding her back?
Yeah, I mean, I've got 2 of them. So
I know you do. That's what I'm saying.
I might. What
Change scene. Yeah.
Yeah, I edit the scene for that, or give me an improved roll. I guess it would make the most sense to just edit it. So sure, I'll throw a hero point at that.
All right,
It's
I love it.
riding the bear into battle.
So instead of missing her, you line up perfectly onto her back. At this point, Phyllis is almost to ground level. She's covered a lot of ground, and she's not actually climbing as much as control falling. So she's holding on and then grabbing something else and grabbing on something else as she control falls down. So right towards the end of that, you line up pretty much perfectly so that you're kind of hugging her right around the back of her neck on the furry part. You're a grizzly, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's got the big heavy duty, winter haunches of fur that you can kind of just teddy bear around. And if you want to add anything else to that, scene, you can.
Yeah. So what I'll do is, because free fall or safe fall is a free action. And I didn't, I took just a little bit of movement to kind of step out of the hole. At this point, I'll create a slide that runs down from right below Phyllis down over into the fray area, so that she can just hit the slide and turn around and slip right down.
Okay. Do you give her a prompt like slide or something? Because you got to remember, Phyllis is talking shit the whole way down.
Right when I hit her shoulders, I'll be like,
slide.
Yeah, slip and slide. Let's go.
I made you a slide.
Bear slide.
Bear slide.
Bear slide. Yes.
Woo! Yeah,
that's awesome.
Sparkles, little mini fireworks in the air.
Yes.
It's like you took some LSD and things are just already starting to go.
That is fan-fucking-tastic. I love it. Phyllis, why don't you make an acrobatics check for me?
Okay.
More specifically, a slide check.
Slide-o-batics.
A slide-o-batics.
Okay. I rolled a 13 and then acrobatics.
Plus 0.
I've got athletics.
Yeah, it's athletics. I guess there's acrobatics is its own.
Acrobatics is its own thing.
No, acrobatics it's got a line through acrobatics for some reason for you. I don't know why.
Okay,
no, it's grayed out. It's grayed out. I don't know what that means.
So I'm going to say 21 athletic.
If it's grayed out, it just means it's 0. She doesn't have it. It has
gotcha.
Skill.
So
she's not trained in it at all.
Yeah, right.
So it was just your straight die roll then. No bonuses to the roll, and you rolled a what? 16?
13.
13. Okay. So 13 is plenty to kind of turn around, fall forward on your front haunches, and slide the rest of the way, the last 30 feet or so down. How far away from the building does the slide take you at the end? Are you doing like 30 down, 30 out?
It's gonna go down like at the ground. It's trying to pair by then a little bump maybe, and then it just kind of molds into the ground.
Okay.
I was thinking a jump at the end to project
a little
bear at the
bear jump. I think I'll go with Steve's brain idea there.
The polar bears in the Coke commercial on the slide.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you totally. All right. So Miyu, very cute, hero points spent. Total Disney moment with the bear on the slide and the little cute darling girl riding on the bear. It's ridiculous. And there it happens. All right. So that is your turn. And that brings us to Phyllis. So Phyllis, your movement was basically you were climbing. Your climbing got interrupted. You would have ended your climb as part of your move and been on ground level and been able to bound out some more as a bear. Now you didn't have to do that. You were 30 feet up. So your movement was basically just flop and slide. So that doesn't really count very much against your movement because, gravity did most of the work. I would say like maybe only 10 feet of your movement was kind of taken by that motion. So at the end of the slide, where the slide kind of dumps you out, you're only about 15 feet away from the action where people down in ground level are happening. That leaves you with additional movement for the round. You can make it all the way over there if your plan was to bound over and lay some whoop ass on someone. But that's kind of what you're dealing with. So 10 feet of movement spent at the end of the slide. They're about 15 feet in front of you, darling little girl riding on your shoulders.
And your total movement is 250, so you can move bunches still.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I'm actually going to take a gamble here. I'm going to take a gamble, and this may be completely suicidal. I am going to bound. I don't know how much movement or how much action economy I have, but I'm going to bound over to where Jose is, and I'm going to get in the middle of Jose.
You're in the purple area. You're in that purple zone because the slide dropped you out into it. So like I said, Jose is only 15 feet away from you. So he's only 3 squares forward.
So I'm going to go bounding towards Jose and these guys.
As part of your move. Yep.
And then can I shapeshift back into Phyllis and just be like, hey, because nobody can understand me. Not clearly. Stop.
What does it say for your power? Does it call out any kind of time or action economy?
I think it's a free action. Let me see what I can find on that.
Okay.
On shapeshifting.
So you can do that. You can do that whole move over, creepy change and move away.
Really quick, just back to Phyllis for, oh God, hopefully I don't get hit. Just get in between them and be like, I want to apologize for my luchador friend. He's a little short-tempered, little quick to act. We just, whatever business you have with Maximilian, you don't have it with us. We just want to know what's going on, and maybe we can de-escalate this situation.
Just want to talk, man.
That's a lot of talking. Yeah, talking.
Make a persuasion. Make a persuasion check to end your turn. And when Phyllis is done, we go to Jose.
Let's see, 12 plus, persuasion. 12 and 2, 14.
14, okay.
Yeah.
And I guess I just fall off of Phyllis onto the ground.
So
Call me slow and foul tempered. I don't know about that.
But it did bring you to the mix, though.
Yeah. Right on my ass.
Okay. All right. Jose, perception check at the start of your turn. Phyllis, perception check at the end of yours.
Okay.
Give me those results, and then Jose, you can take your turn, followed by the bad guys, or the good guys in this case. The good bad guys, the confused guys.
Someone's being mind controlled. That's not
18 and Jose?
21.
21. All right. So you will both notice that after Phyllis runs over in bear form, Miyu on her back, she goes back into Phyllis. So Miyu, you just drop to the ground right behind her. Boop. You just fall down right behind her. She says what she has to say. Dr. Manhattan seems completely unaffected, wide eyes, crazy rage eyes still. But both of you notice that the woman, 7, up above, she's looking at you differently. She's looking at you more with concern maybe, or tenderness, or she's hesitating. You're not really sure what you're reading, but she doesn't have that I'm going to fuck you up kind of feel about her. She has more of a she's considering what you just said, Phyllis. That's your best guess, is you had an effect on her. You had no effect on him, none whatsoever. And Johnny Rocket's kind of over here, and Bowman's up in the air. So those guys are not in your general purview. You're not really privy to whether or not you affected them, but you see her and you know you affected her. Jose, you also kind of saw that moment where she came in and said, come on, this is ridiculous. And the woman up above is having that moment.
They even called me slow and foul tempered. That's what I heard.
And Jose, it is your turn.
You're a little quick to act. You're a little quick, little trigger
I
happy.
didn't hear quick. I heard slow. That's what I heard.
No, not my intent.
I will. I'll attack again because it worked so well last time.
Okay.
I'm gonna fuck you up. No, I'm not. I rolled a 1. I missed. I'm done.
Okay.
Phyllis distracted you.
So clearly you're not affected by it. Anything else?
Well, maybe I am. Maybe you
Maybe
roll
that's
a
why
1.
he
Maybe I
missed.
was clearly affected by it.
Jose's like, she's right.
Punch the ground. Oops, caught myself in the nuts. Rolled a 1.
All
Anyway.
right. Let's see. All right. Dr. Metropolis. He will continue with his onslaught. He brings he takes the slide that you just made and he creates it into a big ass looking centipede thing that rolls forward and undulates and will strike and attack at Phyllis.
What a punk.
That is his answer to you. We need to calm down. Like, everybody chill the fuck out. He's like,
Great.
don't tell me what to do, chomp.
All
right. So his offense is a +5 animated object strike. So that is definitely what this is. As the centipede tries to bite you, +10. Ooh, that's really, really loud. That's a 14 against your parry defense.
Let's see.
That's your parry +10.
Okay. 16.
All right. So it will miss. Chomp. Animated object number 1 will attack Mars with 1 single attack. A 9 on the die +10 is a 19. Does that hit, dudes? Let's see. Where is your stat block, young man? There it is. 118. Okay. He has his own page. Attack. All right. Defenses. So his parry is 9. So that's a 19. Okay. All right. So boom, 19. He is hit. Hits him right on his parry defense. The damage from him is an 8. So he rolls. What does Max need to roll to see whether he gets hit or not? That is
toughness. If he's
his toughness attack.
Toughness is after he's been hit.
He has been hit.
Yeah, then it's toughness to see if he's able to shake off the.
All right, and it's his toughness number just added to the die roll. Right?
Yeah, it's his toughness added to the die roll versus the DC of the power.
Versus the DC of the power. Okay. All right. Relevant.
You all, that's right?
The toughness is versus the
it would be, if it was a damage, and it would be the power would be damage.
It's the right. So if the power is
its damage is 12. It has a damage rating of 12.
So it's 12 plus 15 is
so 27 is what he needs to roll against.
Right.
Yeah,
with
and
his
the
toughness
difference
being
between it is
5.
how many bruises he takes.
So he can't not be damaged by a 27,
Basically.
even if he rolls a 20.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Well, a 20 is a
20.
crit.
He rolled a nat 20. So 20 plus toughness is 5. That's a 25 against the roll of 27. If you roll a nat 20 on a toughness roll, does it automatically succeed?
No.
That's a good question.
I would say yes, because you're the one rolling. But I don't think it says. I don't think I came across
Resistance.
anything that says that.
I'll
Oh,
let you
it's
go ahead.
resistance difficulty, it says, is effect rank plus 10. So I think that damage specifically plus 15? Because
Maybe it's just 10. So what is the plus 15? That's
it's listed under the damage.
Damage resistance check is toughness versus damage rank plus 15. That's the damage resistance check.
Right.
So the
that's
damage
specific
resistance
to damage. Yeah. Other resistance checks are effect rank plus 10.
right. So he can't make that. It's just how
So the
severely
question
he fails it,
is,
right?
If and under resistance, defenses, it doesn't say anything about criticals. I only see damage resistance check. Toughness versus damage rank plus 15. Degrees of failure. It doesn't say anything about critical success on those.
So I'm
rolls.
guessing he took a bruise. He took a bruise then.
I guess, yeah.
Even though he rolled a nat 20, he still took a bruise because it was 27 to 25. We'll look that one up. Make a note of that, Yoel, and we'll look up that
Okay.
rule and make sure we're playing it right and
Yeah.
bring it in the future. I don't want to hang up on it too much, but that's interesting. Somewhere, if it says on a toughness roll that you roll a critical on a toughness roll, you automatically shrug off the effects. That would be good to know if that's an actual rule. If not, okay. All right. So boom, boom. That's the attacks on Dr. Metropolis. Bowman. Let's see. Was he affected by Phyllis? You hear him call out. You hear Bowman call out. What are we doing here, Chief? This one seems sour to me. He takes no other actions. He will ready an action. He draws and arcs an arrow and readies an action. Johnny Rocket says, yeah, man, what the fuck, Metropolis? What's going on? He will also ready an action. He's like ready to do something. Metropolis says, stay the course, destroy them. Seven says nothing. She just kind of sits there and looks really worried and concerned, floating in place. That is their turn.
He's mind controlled.
Velocity Steve.
He drank the rage juice.
Velocity Steve.
I've met haters like him in my YouTube comments.
On your OnlyFans page? I mean, your YouTube comments?
Hey now.
What?
I give the fans what they need, not what they want.
Exactly.
What do we need?
That's
All right, Velocity Steve.
Beautiful.
It is to you.
Okay. So I have this needs to end, I say really softly. In contrast to my shouting that everybody could hear for a mile away. Everybody's teleporting power is just turned off.
Only if they're in the zone. If you're outside the zone,
No, I'm telling everybody it's off.
Oh, hey guys, I killed it.
Ours,
Yeah.
Kill switch.
Okay.
Just an FYI so that you guys can turn that off on your character sheets.
Thank you.
Which makes everything feel just a little bit slower because you have all of the bonuses to your initiative now. And I have an affliction with a ranged on it. How do we make that work? What's the logistics of that?
You have an affliction.
So I'm going to use a power. It's a temporal confusion.
Okay.
The Dr. Manhattan, where basically what he's going to experience is he's going to experience 1,000 different potential timelines flowing at him at the same time.
Wow. It's a bad day.
And so it's resisted by will. It has a range of 250 feet. It has a DC of 20.
Okay. So it's his will defense, you said. And does he have to be able to see what you're doing? Is it a visual thing at all?
It is limited by sight. So he has to be able to see me.
So he's encased in that
So he's blind.
armor of he's encased in that armor of cement blocks and debris and stuff is all kind of around him in a protective force. It blocks you can't see his eyes. You don't know if he's blinded, you don't know if he can see through it or not, but you don't see his eyes. Still want to do it?
Yeah, I think if it does nothing, then it does nothing.
Okay. And you roll against his will toughness, or he makes a will save against what you're doing?
That was my question about the logistics of it.
He'll make if it's an affliction, then he makes a save.
He makes a save
Against the affliction's DC, which is its rank plus 10.
Yeah, so it's 20.
Okay. So he's going to make that roll. 15 plus 14 is a 29.
Okay.
Okay. Did you want to move, or are you happy where you're at?
Yeah, I'll move. I guess I'm outside of the purple sphere.
You are. Yeah, I mean you could step into it. It's not a force field. It's not stopping physical movement. It seems to be a temporal thing completely.
Okay, so I step into it, and then as part of the move action, can I draw a weapon?
Sure.
Okay, so I draw my sword.
Okay. Well, how far are you moving in? You moving all the way up to where they are on the ground, where Jose is?
Yeah, up to next to where Jose is at. That's
okay. All right. Kid Blackout, you're up.
So are we still attacking these guys? I'm not sure what's going on at this point.
You see the woman casting the purple glow is hesitating. The bowman is up in the air. He's looking around and he's hesitating. You heard both of them like asking for commands, for prompts, and then the Dr. Metropolis kind of being unhinged. Like destroy them! Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, are you for real? It's like seriously like that.
He did say get out of my head earlier. That's how you know.
I mean, if we're trying to de-escalate, I'm not going to attack then. I think I'm going to float down. Steve, are you down on the ground?
Yeah.
I'm gonna float down and hover by Steve within like 10 feet of him, still in the air, and just kind of chill.
Okay.
Not attack anybody.
You can ready if you wanted to take a.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stay on guard. So if somebody fucks with me, I'll respond in kind, but I'm not gonna initiate at this point. So I'm just gonna move down near Steve, keep my guard up, and wait for somebody to start some shit.
Okay, awesome. Mew, you are up, followed by Phyllis. Seems like the only one who's really got a whole lot of fight him in is Dr. Metropolis, who is the most dangerous at this point because he's fucking making everything around him animate and want to kill all of you. So the street is peeling up into fists, he's like dirty bomb out of control energy.
Yeah. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to disappear the slide so it can't hurt anyone anymore. It's a free action. Nope, it's not there anymore. And then I'm going to see if I can really cement this de-escalation thing, and I'm gonna have little flowers start raining from the sky. There's
cute.
Just flowers, all those different kinds,
cute.
Piece of cheese. Yeah, like let's be friends.
Give peace a chance. Okay.
Um,
So you
These are rose petals celebrating my victory.
Oh, I was seeing them more like
there you go.
cherry
Rose-
blossoms,
Oh,
carnations, or
like a mix, like all the whole field is
but
just
pink. Everything's pink. It
Oh.
must be pink.
all sorts of different pinks and like bright colors, pinks and yellows and even like blues, things you
Yellow,
wouldn't
red,
even
green.
normally.
Okay.
Yeah, your colors.
Yellow, red,
Phyllis,
green.
do
Yeah.
you have ending
smile
Miyu?
everywhere.
Thank you, Miyu.
Yeah.
Going into Phyllis's turn. Do you have a specific action that you want to take on your turn, Phyllis?
Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Push the button.
I can't hear you.
Push the button.
You were talking too
But it was
strongly.
great.
Yeah. Do it again.
That's not the first time today. So I need to be in bear form, and I'm this Manhattan guy is the only one that needs to be put down. He's not one of these levitating guys. How close am I to him?
Well, if you stepped between Jose and him,
Then he's right up in my face.
or tried to step between them, and then you're like, figure a triangle. One's right there, one's right there, you're right there.
Okay. So I'm going to go into bear form, and is there anything nearby that I could just throw at him? Is there like I imagine there's some concrete rocks or something on the ground. I think I could lift like a ton or something.
Everything right around your general area has already animated up and is already part of what he's doing. So there's nothing that would be considered just loose debris. It's all become part of his bullshit.
Okay. I'm just gonna grab him. That's
Okay.
the best thing I can think of. Let me get my D20 up. Let's see.
So you're attacking. You're going to try to attack him or one of the animated objects around you.
I'm gonna try to grab him.
Him. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So I rolled a 15, and what do I need for? Let's see. Grab. Hang on.
His parry is a 20 parry defense. Is what you need to hit him.
Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to see what is involved in legend. There we go. Hang on. What do I need to throw? That's library. Hang on. In play.
Grab should be in the specials list on the right.
I've got it under advantages, maneuver. Shit, why is this so hard?
It should be under specials.
Oh, grab. There we go. Okay. So grab, it says grab +6 DC special 10.
Okay.
So that would be what, a 21?
You're +6 to hit, and you rolled 11.
And I rolled a 15.
And you rolled 15. Okay, so 21 to his 20. That would have hit.
Yes. Okay.
So you've got the grab.
So I got the grab. Yep. I got the grab on him.
Again.
Is it automatic?
Yeah, and I could just keep grabbing them.
Let's see. Where's grab here? Grab. Make an attack check. If successful, the target makes a resistance check against your strength or the rank of a grabbing effect. So that's what the DC is for.
Okay.
So
what does he need
So
to
the
roll against?
DC 10 is 10.
So the DC 10, but it's an effect, so +10, so that's 20. So he's making a resistance check.
So my strength.
Resistance, and that's done with a skill.
He makes it with the better of strength or dodge.
Okay. And let me make sure I'm in bear form.
Strength 6 or dodge 8. So his dodge is 8. So it's D20 +8.
Yep.
Okay. That is an 8. 8 + 8 is 16.
So that doesn't beat the 20 that he's trying to hit, right?
So he is grabbed.
So he's 1 degree of success. The target is restrained, immobile, and vulnerable.
Okay. So you reach out and you bear up and you grab him.
And I'm assuming that the DC in Hero Lab just for some reason doesn't include that extra 10 for the calculation for resisting because of how the resistance rules are written. It would have to be, because it doesn't say in the grab like action explicitly to add the number, but it calls it a resistance check, which in the section for about resistance checks, it tells you to add the effect rank plus 10.
So it's either your dodge or your or your toughness.
Dodge or strength.
Dodge or strength.
But it's a resistance check. So like I'm right because Hero Lab says DC special 10 for her.
Yeah, I see it. I see that.
But the resistance rules say the resistance difficulty is effect rank plus 10. So
And I didn't have my bear form activated on in Hero Lab, so it's actually a DC special 18.
that sounds more,
It's a little beefier.
yeah. Because like my DC is 9 and I have a -1 on my grab. So 10 is like the basis. So the
All right.
question is, do you add 10 to that because it's resistance DC, or is there something else that it's, you see what I mean? Something else that it's doing.
Well, the grab is an attack. Once you make the attack,
Right.
then it's he gets to resist being grabbed, just
Right.
like any other attack.
Right.
And that's either going to come from his fortitude, which
Yeah.
is his strength, or dodge, which is
Right.
his agility,
So
right?
it must be work like all the other
Yeah.
resistance ones. Yeah.
Right.
So if your DC says, what'd you say, 14?
If you're talking about his strength resistance, it would be an 18. It would be
No, because
I'm
he's
sorry.
using his dodge, right? But
It-
Phyllis, your DC on your grab is what?
18.
18 plus 10 is 28.
28.
So that
All right, so he's grabbed, clearly. All right, Jose, you are up.
I don't know whether there's anything at this point in time, whether I guess like Dr. Metropolis is still an eligible target.
Well, he just got grapple grabbed by Phyllis the bear. The world around you is still animated and you know it's still trying to pound on you. It's still trying to pound.
I'm going to grab the doctor and put him in a chokehold.
So you're also going to try to grab him.
Yeah.
All right.
and
We've done this before.
And
So
he
you're
is
rolling against his
immobile and vulnerable.
So does that lower his
I would assume so.
Was it only 1 degree that she missed?
does that lower his parry?
Actually, that's a good question because it's higher. How much did he fail on his resistance check against 28? What did he get on his dodge?
18, I thought.
He didn't roll. We did 8 plus base 10.
He needs to make a dodge.
To roll.
He needs to roll a dodge.
15 plus 10 is a 25. So that's one
That's
rank.
one. Yeah.
So he's immobile and vulnerable.
Yeah.
I don't know what that does, but I got a 22 to hit.
Immobile, they cannot move. They're still capable of taking actions. And vulnerable is that they have their defenses.
They have, so parry would be go from 10 to 5.
It halves their active defenses. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So then that means it's a 15 to hit him.
Rolled a 22. That's a success. The grab
Okay.
will also be a success with a 24.
All right. So he can still make his.
And he rolls a 19 plus
half his dodge.
plus half his dodge, which is 4. So that's a 23. So
Okay,
that's
so
one success, right?
So I think we've got him, and I think that's it for me. I'm done.
That doesn't change his conditions. His conditions stay the same because you.
No, because he made a save on the chokehold. He's not choking. You rolled it 23.
Oh, I see.
I only got a 22.
All right, but you have him. You have him grabbed.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic.
So Phyllis and I have got them together. I'm putting
All right.
our arm around him and give him some nuggies,
And you are hindered and vulnerable while grabbing and holding an opponent.
What you mean to say is I look cute. That's what you mean to
Very
say.
cute.
That's right.
You can attempt to improve an existing hold with another grab action on a following turn. Any resulting degrees of success are cumulative, but if you lose, the target escapes. It doesn't say anything about multiple people on one target, but what I wonder is if they both succeeded, if that means that he has
It'll be
an
vulnerable
equivalent-
to each,
an
right?
equivalent 2 degrees of success or not.
Or at least vulnerable to each, which will end up mathematically resulting in that more
Right.
likely than not.
Because 2 degrees or more leave them bound, which is defenseless, immobile, and impaired. So I
2
think that's up to you.
degrees?
That's up to you, Mike. Because so he got
I
1
wouldn't-
degree from both Phyllis.
Yeah, I would
Man,
say
right.
I would say you guys are working for the same results. So that would, I think that counts as they would stack. They would
So then-
definitely stack.
So then he would be bound, and you can mark it in his Hero Lab as bound, and that
Okay.
check all the boxes. Defenseless, immobile, and impaired.
All right. He's pretty fucked.
Mhm.
All right, get down. And that is the end of Jose's turn. Let me just see here. It's leading me to a dossier, and I'm not seeing it, so maybe it's not that big of a deal anyway. I'm really not seeing it. And then it's her name. All right, fine. Suddenly from above, a loudspeaker enhanced voice rises above the din of the battle. Stand down. Instinctively, you and your opponents look up and see one of Freedom League's Pegasus space planes hovering silently in the air with Raven standing on top of it, looking down at the scene below.
Oh, right. They're going to listen to them. We tried it 3 times.
The Pegasus hovers in midair as she hops off and glides down to land near you.
Are we
So cool.
are we picking up hostile intentions?
Not at all. Not at all.
The flowers are still.
Metropolis collapses unconscious.
Oh.
The other members of the league, of course, stop fighting and stand down from their readied position.
Okay,
cool?
I'm standing right next to everybody.
Except for the people who are flying and starting to move back into the scene, the core group of, Phyllis, Jose, the doctor's body is collapsed there. I think you're
So
down
my
there
team
as well.
I take a quick moment and my team members and give them the ability to teleport again.
Okay.
Whoever's
All right.
within range.
She Seven does take down the field and she comes down to land. Bowman's like, you guys are pretty good. Seriously,
Now-
you guys got skills.
Now we can exchange numbers.
And Seven says, I am so sorry. I was just following our team leader's orders. And same with Johnny. Johnny's like, yeah, these things happen. Supers and villains and supers and people flipping and it happens all the time. No hard feelings, guys. No hard feelings at all.
Okay, so what's with Captain Stupid Ass? And I point to the unconscious idiot on the ground. What's this guy's deal? You guys give him too much cocaine today? I mean, what is his problem? I mean, seriously, man.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not
on
strong.
one.
I got nothing on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
She bends down, Raven bends down and touches his forehead. And she says, this is very troubling. as I suspected, the doctor has been under outside influences. She says, Johnny Bowman, let's take him somewhere safe. Get him on board. And they say, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good to meet you guys. Yeah, I hope we get to work together again. And they move over. They grab him. And you watch Bowman. He's got like an armband with a device on his armband. And he does a on the armband as they grab him, and the three of them kind of zip away.
Before they disappear, I yell, "Lay off the cocaine!" Just one last time. That guy, man, Jesus Christ!
Can I make a technology check to see what that thing is that he just pressed that was around his arm?
Teleport.
Sure.
25.
It doesn't look like anything that you've seen before. And you also suspect that it's probably not the origin point of whatever happened. You believe it was more like a call button.
Okay.
That
just teleports them back to wherever they were at. Or wherever they called them.
Yeah.
She introduces herself to you by name. She's Raven. She already knows everything that is publicly aware of you. Bowman and Johnny are apologetic and a bit sheepish, as I said. She stands Seven down and gives Seven command of the team. And Seven will nod and look a little scared. She smiles at you like you know, like kind of like a happy smile, like, man, I wish we could talk. She gives you one of those kind of like, you know, just a sweet kind of a smile before she also leaves as well.
Don't they seem like nice people?
She says, while the rest of the league went, she says, while they came here, I went to the city to investigate. I heard combat chatter over our team communicators and diverted to the facility immediately. She says, I will answer your questions in due time. I'm sure you likely have some. If you'll excuse me for just a moment, I would like to have some private words with Max.
Makes sense.
I think anything you say to Max, you can say in front of us.
I would disagree. I would disagree very much with that.
Max, do you want us to leave?
She says, I would appreciate that you indulge me for Mars' sake. Mars agrees that he'd prefer to have the conversation in private, and he gives you kind of like a wink and a point, like you can insight check it if you want. Raven is extremely polite and is not interested in offending the heroes at all. In fact, she says that she seconds Bowman's sentiment that she was surprisingly impressed with your abilities that you displayed. Did you insight check on her? Or on Max, rather?
Yeah. 25.
You got the feeling like we're gonna have a private moment. If you need to know something out of it, I'll share it with you. Like he was like a don't sweat it. Don't sweat it.
So it wasn't a figure out how to come in invisibly and watch.
Let's go get coffee or something.
Oh, at the coffee shop.
They only step away, like they're not leaving you.
Not leaving.
They're merely just walking off to the side so that they can have a conversation.
That's okay. I'll
What do you guys want to do?
I think we just say, well, give us a call when you're finished, and I look to meet you. Coffee?
Coffee.
Okay, and
Coffee.
then we all get together and we teleport
Jordan.
everybody to that first coffee shop that by now is fixed up, right? The one that Jordan used to work at.
Okay.
Can't hear you, Rob.
It's only been a day or two. The thing is still trashed, isn't it?
Pretty much. They've limped back up. They're still making coffee. They don't have sitting area anymore because that place is just destroyed. But they're making coffee and they're selling it to people kind of, kind of like pandemic style. They got a thing across the door and they're selling it right out the door.
Yeah, let's go the other side of town and get a sit down place. They got a Dunkin' on the other side of town.
So you're done with Mars
Till he calls us back.
until he calls you back. How is he going to do that?
I assume he knows everything about us and knows our phone numbers.
All right, fair enough.
Mine's in my shoe.
All right. So you
In the 60s, that was very modern.
you get 10-15 minutes of
Coffee.
relative quiet as the group speaks about what just happened. Perhaps some of you are comparing notes about the Freedom League with others.
I picture a scene like on Avengers when they're all sitting down eating the shawarma.
The shawarma, that's exactly what
Just
I was
like
thinking.
staring at each other, like silence, like what the fuck just happened? It just like
Exactly the image that popped into my head. I almost said, let's go get shawarma, and I thought I'd make it a little bit less on the nose.
So, Steve, after about 15 minutes of you guys having a snack, having a coffee, debriefing, basically, unofficially debriefing amongst yourself about what the hell just happened, your phone rings. You glance down at your cell, and it says Maximilian.
okay. Hey, it looks like he's calling, and I
Let's go back.
grab everybody. We teleport back.
You don't answer the phone?
No, right where they were at last, and then I'll answer the phone once I get there if he's not there.
Okay.
Teleport is going to take 6 seconds, right? So that's
Yeah.
ring, 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 and then I'm there. If he's not there, then I'll answer it.
But you're teleporting back to his office, or you're teleporting back down to the street?
His office.
Back to his office. All right. He's sitting at his desk when you all arrive.
This is bad client management, by the way. I just like to point this out right here. When we are like at beck and call, he has to call. We don't even answer, and we bamf into his office. This is
You're setting a precedent.
It is setting a precedent in a very bad way, Mr.
Well,
Stevens.
but I
You should
wanted to
know.
set the
You should
precedence
know
that
better
I can
client
come and
management than this,
go.
sir.
I wanted
Anyway.
to set the precedence that I can come and go as I please.
Yeah, that's not how he's going to see it. Anyway.
All right. So, not only do you get the 5 PowerPoints that we talked about for ending number 1, you also get a hero point each. Again, another hero point to each one of you for the battle with the Freedom League.
Punched the ground and hit my balls. It wasn't all that great. Well, I know not to do that.
That was very
That's the point. Don't do that.
Mars announces that
don't do that again.
he has an offer for you that he hopes will help the city and give the Freedom League a little bit more confidence in him. He offers to sponsor the heroes as Emerald City's official super team, the Sentinels. He says it's a working name. We can certainly talk about changing it, but
Like Sentinel 6.
but our marketing research has come back with real favorable results in the numbers for the Sentinels.
Sentinel 6.
And
But-
he will say the following to you, and then we will close scene. Perhaps this information will help alleviate a few concerns. I've been working on putting together resources for a team of hometown defenders for Emerald City. Given the lack of heroes in the city and the presence of organizations like the FOE, and whoever or whatever is behind this silver storm, I think it's high time we had our own defenders. So, to that end, I'd like to donate whatever resources are needed to get all of you set up as a team. I have connections in the city government, and with the League's help, with Aegis, I believe we could have things taken care of in short order. My people have been working on a headquarters in the top floors of Emerald Tower, complete with the very best technology I could put together for you.
Oh.
I've been thinking about this for some time, and I've spoken with the local authorities in general terms. They have mixed feelings about an organized group of heroes taking up residence in the city, but they're open to the idea. I think with the chaos caused by the Silver Storm, they might even be more open to it now.
Didn't they already kind of deputize us? I look at the other people in the group.
Kind of. We talked to the chief guy, right? And he was like,
Yeah.
do this stuff, but he didn't want to give us any.
Right, because in Emerald City, you can't do anything. You can't be a first responder in this city without some kind of rudimentary deputization, which is what happened. But this is quite a bit different. This is something.
Official.
This is so.
Usually when they say deputization, they're on the way over to me with handcuffs, and it doesn't end well. I just, yeah.
The first part, to answer your question, was so that if something went terribly wrong as you were saving people, you would be protected by the malpractice insurance of the city because you were deputized, and they can't sue you directly as an individual because, you hurt somebody while you were saving them. And
So Mr. Mars is going to self-insure? That'll work.
Rome wasn't built in a day and all that. So I have every confidence Aegis will come around after the League puts in a good word and you've spent a little time talking with them. If I or anyone else had any doubts about your dedication or abilities, your actions since the Silver Storm have certainly erased all of that. I know there's a lot of work. I know there's a lot to work out, but what do you say?
I'm down for it. What do you guys think?
Resources are good. Beats my unemployment check.
Want some lime juice with that?
And he says, Jose, as far as that other matter that we discussed, I told you we would circle back around to it, and consider it circled and crossed out, my friend.
Yes, sir, boss.
You will have no worries. You do not need to look over your shoulder any longer. And as far as your outward appearance, let's get a couple under the belt, and then you'll have plenty of finances to take care of that however you see fit.
Well, I didn't think money could fix that, but okay.
I think
Money can fix anything, Jose.
Mm-hmm.
And scene. Fantastic.
And Jordan won't even have to clean the new base. He'll be so happy.
I'm just saying somebody needs to hook us up with this like a serious espresso maker, and I'm good.
I can make one.
But I mean, the rich guy can do that.
In our next adventure, episode 5, we will be covering Hometown Heroes, where Mars welcomes the opportunity to make a more detailed pitch, including a tour of the headquarters and introductions to necessary Emerald City law enforcement figures and elected officials who he will gather for a proper coming out party, if you will. So Hometown Heroes is what we will open up with.
Nice.
Next bat channel, next bat channel.
when that happens.
Yeah. Anything else that anybody wants to say or do before we close out for session?
I'm just looking at where to spend those PP.
Yeah, make a note of that. You each have 5 PP for completing part 1. You'll get 5 power points at the end of each of these episodes. At the end of 3, you'll level to 9. At the end of 6, you'll level to 10. And then coming out of the Emerald City Nights, you will basically be free as level 10s in the sandbox of Emerald City to continue, or we can do something else, or, you know, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll figure that out when we get there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you once again for joining us and viewership. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well.
I had fun.
And we
Hope
will
you did
see
too.
you for episode 5.